do 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 do. Right.
What's up? Hello. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Serge.
And we are
from
The Weird
we
Show.
Are what? We
the
are
movie
human.
show.
We don't know. We are not. We are doing the movie show.
Sorry.
We are from
The Movie Show.
Right. And for all of you who are listening
and you
to
don't
our
know what
show,
the hell just
you're
happened.
like,
I mean, what the heaven just happened?
Let me explain. So we have started our own blog. Can you call it a blog?
I'm a blogging bloke.
On YouTube. So you can go on YouTube and search The Movie Show.
That's right.
And then you can watch us speak to you.
It's Active FM Movie Show, one word.
Yes.
Active FM Movie Show.
Yes, so you guys just go check that out, and then you can also see the awesome intro that Ryan just did, because he like had this whole Star Wars thing going. That's why,
I told you I was a Star Wars fan.
Right.
Told you I was a Star Wars fan.
Right.
I'm Anakin's sidekick.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Skywalker.
May the fourth be with you.
Yes, and plus, if you watch our show, we'll add some footage in and stuff like that, so now you guys can actually see what we're talking about.
Yeah, so guys, go check it out. Get your friends to check it out. Get your parents to check it out. Get your dogs to check it out. Get everyone to check it out. Just check it out.
Yeah.
You want to see our faces.
Yeah.
They want to see
and
our
not
faces.
at a supermarket.
What?
Check out, you know.
Ow!
Or unless you check out, you know. Okay, anyway.
Log out.
This can go far.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Right. So we got an exciting show.
Yes, we do.
This one's personally my favorite. I mean, we've spoken about a lot of stuff, but this one.
Like literally, as we were looking for topics, I was searching for topics. Like Ryan was listening, and then he was like, "That sounds awesome," and I was like,
one.
"Really?
Yes.
I didn't even know you were like
Yes.
listening."
Yes.
So that's how
there's,
like
there's keywords.
yes,
You know, CG.
Ryan just what? Yeah. So we are going to be looking at CG, and for all of you who don't know what CG is, it basically stands for computer
Cats jump.
G, not J.
Yeah, I know. Cats generator.
Genesis.
Yes.
Intelligence. CGI.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't stand for that. It stands for computer generated images. I always say generized. I don't know why.
Sounds
just in
sounds
there.
like the same.
Right?
Thing.
Yes.
Generized.
So it's basically in a movie where they create something so visual that's not there. So for example, a bus. They put a bus in and they literally use computer.
It wasn't real footage.
Yeah, so it was never there. They added it in after in post production.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking at like amazing CG that you didn't even know was CG, or that you knew was CG, but you know when you're watching a movie
While you're watching it,
and you don't really think I'm watching CG, you're just like,
remember.
oh, check it, that spaceship and that alien, and you know there's no alien, but the fact that it just looks so real.
And that's kind of the point, because sometimes, you know, we like to show off with our CG.
Yeah.
You know, I like you watch some movies and there's just flares everywhere. But it's weird because you don't really notice it. But the whole idea of CG is that it looks real. And you don't even notice that. Oh my word, look at that! That looks cool. Like obviously Matrix they showed off.
Yeah.
With bullet time and stuff like that. But you'll see some of the movies we went through. I didn't even realize like wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a long list. Not really. We've got an awesome list. And our first movie is
Jungle Book.
Yeah, we just had to mention this one again. If you've listened to our previous shows, you know that Jungle Book was not filmed in a jungle. You cannot go on any safari
but it
trip.
really looks like it.
You can't go anywhere in the world to find those locations, because those locations don't actually exist.
No.
They filmed it in a sound studio, and literally, like, the only thing that was real was Mowgli. Like, that was it. Like, there was nothing else.
Well, sometimes there was some stuff you would interact with.
I think they like water.
It's just for interaction.
Yes.
Water.
But literally, if you look at that film,
branch,
there's so much interaction with nature.
Yeah.
And yet, like, none. That film,
like the animals, the grass.
Everything.
It's crazy. All on a soundstage.
And think about how amazing that little boy had his acting is, because he literally oftentimes would just act with the blue screen in front of him, and he has to now imagine. And obviously you do get the actors in there,
puppets and stuff like that.
What are those things called again? Motion capture suits. Yeah, so you did get actors like that, but still it's not the same. Like you see this guy in a grey suit with like black dots and you're like, he's a monkey.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story after the show.
Really?
So, since we're on the topic, I might as well just tell you. So, what happened was that in Life of Pi, there was a CG company studio involved that basically did all the animals and that on Life of Pi. Because in Life of Pi, there's more than one studio. I know ILM did the oceans and that, and then a company called Rhythm and Hues, which did, now this was in 2013, which did the animals, the animation, and the rendering and that. Basically, 11 days after they won an award for Best CG, they went bankrupt.
Yeah.
And there was, if you look on YouTube, there's actually a whole documentary about this that I watched. And there was, it just really got really political and stuff like that. And people eventually got to a point where most CG artists and that on their Facebooks, on a lot of social ground, they changed their icons to green, like just a green, to like, there was just this whole rise up and what like the CG artists versus the producers and stuff like that. It was crazy. And they started doing like short little clips. It was crazy. And it'd be like a world without CG. And like a lot they would take a lot of like raw footage, so you see like Iron Man and those type of guys still in their track suits and stuff like that, still sitting there. Yeah, it was like people with still green screens behind it, and how raw and how stupid it looked. And yeah, this is what your movie would look like if it wasn't for us, type of thing. But yeah.
So, did they change their pictures to green for like green screen?
Just a green, in terms of green screen. Yeah, it was a lot of CG artists standing up. There was a big rise about it. They were posting stuff on YouTube and a whole lot of stuff like that, because basically what happened was, and I'm going even more deep into the story, but producers would work out a fixed budget with the studios. But then what would happen was that there was all the stuff that would come. So, for example, there would be changes involved. They would take more time. They would change their story. Sometimes stuff would take a bit longer. So then they'd end up laying off some CG artists and stuff. Imagine now you've worked like for a year now on a movie, and next when you just get laid off type of stuff. Some of the artists, their families would move to another country. So, for example, Rhythm and Hues had an office in Vancouver, which is North Canada. And they would move there for a year. They wouldn't see their family. They would go live there, and next month they get told, no, we have to release you. Sorry, we can't pay you. Because, anyway, that's
insane.
It was a really interesting documentary that I watched. It was very, just go check it out. Anyway.
Yeah, so back to Jungle Book.
Speak about that. So, how did we even get on that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You wanted to anyway. So yes, Jungle Book is amazing. The CG, it's real. You forget that
the screen, the suits and stuff like that.
Yes, but you forget that you're watching a CG film.
Yeah.
No, it was very.
Yeah, and especially like a lot of motion captures that they did and stuff like that. I really salute the animators. If you watch any film, when the credits come up at the end, you see the producers, you see the supervisors, all that stuff. But then when the animators come, like takes up like 4 rows and it like rolls there for quite a bit.
It's literally like these small little names, and it's 4 columns.
That's
And then like you just see names.
Yeah.
Shame.
So you can imagine how many animators went into a lot of the animals and that. I know that some of them were motion captured, as in actors and stuff like that. So it's very, very good.
Yes. So our next film is actually Life of Pi,
Before we move on.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, which actually helps with Life of Pi as well. Is that, do you know that on an animal, you get a special, they comb the hair in certain directions to make it look natural.
Yeah.
So if you look at the hair, it's not just all straight and perfect. They get people who comb through their hair.
And there was something even with like Jungle Book, because it's a story through the jungle, and as you go through the jungle, you pick up dirt, you get wet,
yes, with Mowgli had dirt. That's one of the things I really, really appreciate about Jungle Book, was that he would roll down somewhere and then you'd have a bit of patch of dirt over here.
No, it wouldn't be
stuff
clean,
like that. Yeah, it was really, really cool. Although we did, remember in our one show we spoke about that, and we still said how he's what do you call it, the thing he was wearing.
He had that little red, I don't know what you call it, and he had different ones.
Yes.
Because like he would have to be doing different things. So like if he was climbing up a mountain, they'd give him a specific...
Bit more tighter.
If he was in water, it would be like... Yeah, shame, that's weird.
He had costume sets.
But anyway, I suppose if you only have one costume, you're going to be like... Guys,
6 months later, it's like worn off.
Right, so let's just make 20 and then for different shame.
Because I actually heard in this documentary, they said that an average time that a studio will work on a movie is a year. So that for a whole year, they'll be doing Jungle Book, type of thing.
That's insane. And I mean, that's hectic hours. I remember watching this one. It was a documentary on the Hobbits. So basically, Peter Jackson, who was the director, would bring out these like videos, so filming all of that, and then they'd gone to the post-production stage, and you see he's got his own studios. I think it's called Walnut or Wignut or something. I don't know, can't remember now. But they literally have a studio, and they would have editors sleeping, like they would do like shifts almost, like they would be sleeping, and then someone would walk in like, okay guys, so they'd literally
let's get going, and then they'd wake up.
It's not just like 8 to 5, it's like hectic hours.
Well, a deadline's a deadline, and obviously in production things don't always go perfect. So it's crazy. That's why I say I really salute. You know, making movies is not a simple thing. That's
not for sissies.
That really puts shame. Guys, go watch a movie at the cinema. Like, pay for your movies and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, respect the artists.
Yes, please.
Hashtag.
Has gone into it. Hashtag, yes. Hashtag, let's start a movement.
Right.
So Life of Pi basically is very similar to Jungle Book because everything's CG. For me, that's more crazy because there's a lot of tracking involved.
Like literally, if you look how they filmed Life of Pi, they've got like this little swimming pool with blue screen, and then you see the actor on the boat. And there's no tiger, guys. The tiger was CG. They didn't put people's lives in danger.
Crazy,
And that tiger was fun. That was brilliant.
Very well done. Once again, rhythm and hues. So.
No shame. No, Life of Pi, for me personally, the storyline of Life of Pi, not really that we're talking about that, but the storyline was like,
it was weird.
But the CG is what made that movie. Like, the CG was brilliant for that movie.
You know, I was listening to an effects. So if any of you know effects, VFX Guide, the podcast, they were talking about the Life of Pi, and when the whole thing, like Life of Pi, the storyline goes into the whole thing. The guy speaks about God, like often all these religions. They actually got into they started speaking about religion and God and stuff. And you can see how they were like touch and go, but they were really into it. Like they really got into the whole thing of God and stuff like that. It was crazy. I was like, I can't believe this. But you can hear they're like walking on eggshells. They're like very careful on what they're saying because people are very, they don't want to say too much because next month they're going to get sued and all that type of stuff. But for the two guys, so I can't remember what the other guy's name is, the Australian guy, and then there's another guy, Jason something, but they were the ones who were talking the most. There's 4 guys, 2 of them were talking the most about God, and it sounded like the way they were speaking of it, like it was a very thing of the Christian God, not Hinduism, and all, they were ignoring the rest. They were just talking about the whole thing of God existing, and I was like, wow, listen to what these guys are, they were just really supporting and pushing. I mean, it was awesome.
So that is awesome.
I enjoyed that. So, but besides all the other rubbish they were talking about, because that's Hinduism, they believe in all the gods and all that type of stuff. I mean, it's crazy, but
I didn't get the. What was the... let's not even go into the storyline, you know what? Let's just not go there, because otherwise we're going to be sitting here for the next 40 minutes like...
Yes.
But I don't get it.
We were talking about CG.
So CG-wise, that film was very good. I can't believe, though, that the company went bankrupt. That is insane.
Yes. Well, that's what happens when you work over hours, and that was the whole thing about the fixed budget thing.
Yeah.
And then plus, as well, because now, to speed up production, they send the production, to Vancouver. They've got they had an office in India there, and they had one in Taiwan. But now, when you send your stuff there, you have to now pay refugee taxes, and that's tax different. It's just it really got crazy, and basically the whole company just they literally back. In fact, in the beginning of the documentary, it said I think something like 200 and something that year. Studios, that amount of studios went bankrupt.
Oh.
So there were a whole lot.
And it's still bankrupt today.
Yeah, no. Well,
is it?
It was auctioned off. There was another guys, investors or whatever that bought the company over. I mean, Rhythm and News was involved in Kong.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't the same guys. I mean, if you meet the guys that were in the documentary, you can see especially the guy who owned it, who started it. I can't remember what his name is. Something you. You can see he's got a very soft, he's passionate about what he does and stuff like that. So,
shame.
Yeah.
Shame. Sometimes the movie business is, most of the time the movie business is.
But in Life of Pi, even the waves, they were talking about the waves and how the waves would be going a certain way, and then the client would come in and they would say, no, we want the waves to go this way. Now they've got to simulate that. They're going to let it render, and then they show the client. But so you can see how detailed they were, even about the way the waves went. It was crazy. Yeah.
So another film now for me and Ryan, this film was quite of a shock because it was like, really? CG in that movie? And it's Forrest Gump. Now, I'll be honest.
Like, what?
I haven't watched Forrest Gump. I don't know if you've watched Forrest Gump. Okay, I haven't watched it.
Life's
but
about
after
to chocolates, you know?
with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
But like after seeing this, I was like, freak. Like they literally, so it's stupid stuff, but no, it's not. Okay, in the beginning of the film, there's a feather.
It's like such small.
Yeah, and that feather was not real. That was CG. But then for me, the craziest thing was they actually took historical footage, so real life historical footage, and they inserted Tom Hanks into it.
Like specific moments that happened in history.
And it looks like you like try and look and see. Okay, maybe no, that you can't. Like it's like he meets presidents. I'm sure. Who did he meet? JF Kennedy.
Yes.
He meets, Kennedy. And it looks real. I was shocked. I was like, freak. So like, and I mean the fact that CG is good when you don't know it's CG.
Exactly.
Like then you've hit it. When you are not able to go that CG, and for me in that, like you. Like, if you had to say there's CG in Forrest Gump, I would have been like...
What? Like...
Okay, there's an explosion, I think, here or there. But, I mean, they actually don't need CG for explosions. They can do them.
Back in the day, they would still do obviously stunt doubles and stuff like that.
So, yeah. But for me, that's
the feather, though, if I watched that movie today, I probably would have been like, wow, that's interesting. The feather, because it's the beginning is the credits, and then there's a feather, like,
that
flying
lands on
through
his
air, and eventually it lands exactly on his foot.
But it's good.
But it looks good though. I mean, how did they do that? They had like these. This was before Pentium 5, Pentium 1, when they still had what are these things called? 865s or 468s CPUs. 468. We're talking about before Pentium, guys. Like before Windows. You know, they did these things. I mean, literally programmers would sit and they were programming code to get specific, like your mesh and stuff like that. So
that's insane.
But that's very good. I would have never expected this movie to have CG.
Yeah, for me, I'm still shocked at those historic. Like, you guys go on the YouTube channel, we put the clips there.
Yes,
look, you'll see Tom Hanks in like 1920. You're like, what? Okay, maybe not 1920, but like somewhere
what
there.
What year was it anyway?
So JF Kennedy wasn't in 1960s.
Was it in the 90s? Was it like mid 90s?
I think it was 60s.
No, Jurassic Park was mid 90s. I can't remember what.
Oh, wait, it's in the actual movie.
Yes. No.
Oh, I'm talking about like the clips.
Oh, what time it? Okay, yes.
Yeah,
no, those were like 1800s or something.
No.
Like, no, 1950s. The
60s, around the 60s. I actually don't know, when was Forrest Gump made?
That's what I'm going to check now. I know I'm thinking of Jurassic Park. 93.
Yes.
Okay,
94.
Okay. So you see, it's roughly around that age.
But it's very good.
Yeah.
Shame. Alright, and our next film is... Now, this film has had a lot of mixed feelings, but I know why. So it's basically Gravity. Yeah. Now, Gravity, a lot of people didn't like Gravity. So they watched Gravity and they were like, that was horrible, right? Yeah. But the problem is, with Gravity, I think personally they focused more on the CG than they did on the storyline. And even if you look at it, the film would be nothing without the CG. Yeah. So even they got Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, who are two brilliant actors, but without the CG, even with their acting, the movie would have been nothing. So for me, the whole movie was basically a CG. The CG of the movie is the strong point. Now, when most people watch films, they're not going there to watch CG because they're not like the average person.
They enjoy a movie, like a good movie line.
Yeah, like they want a story. So that I think that's why Gravity received the mixed reviews. Although they did win awards, I know they did win awards, and even because the whole movie took place in space, NASA actually said that when people from NASA watched it, they actually said there's nothing we can complain or say that's wrong. The only thing they did say was the explosions were a slight too big, because obviously in space you don't have air or oxygen or anything like that. But they said otherwise it was phenomenal. Otherwise they did a very good job on like portraying what it's actually like in space. Yeah. And I mean the CG of that film.
And they got a lot of from what I heard, they got a lot of different guys in from NASA and stuff like that to sit and watch it and say, tell me what you think. Yeah. And they were like, oh.
But you know what I think they did well as well is obviously with the non-gravity aspect, the actor or the person's not going to move normally. So they had to figure out now, if this happens, how would the body naturally respond in space? And then they had to get that across. And I mean, that's not easy because now your actor can't be standing on the floor. You have to have them in the air, moving, everything
involved in. I know that one of the things that they spoke about the most was the fact that whenever they put an actor in midair, when they suspend them, their access point is around their waist, which is easily spottable. But the way they did this one, I remember the one thing that they did was when they were spinning or something like that, the way the light moved around them, they literally put the actor in this box with screens built around them, and they filmed them like that. And then obviously they had to rotoscope them out and stuff like that. But just to get the light flashing it, just they did some extraordinary stuff in this movie. So.
But this movie, I think, okay, except for the end scene, that probably might have not been, because when she comes back to Earth. But everything, like with Jungle Book, it's awesome, but it's like natural elements. So it's grass, it's water, it's sand.
Stuff around us.
Yeah. Whereas this is space. So now you have to take your actor and basically fill the space around them.
And you've got to use your imagination on what it would be like. I'm sure they did a lot of research.
They did. And even the filming, I think the budgets in terms of like all the machinery they would need to use to do the filming and to get from a CG perspective, Gravity is a very good film.
The studios were like hectically a lot of CG. Well, just crazy.
No, it's funny because Passengers, it's a later film, which we have to do a show on, right? It's an awesome film, yes, Passengers. It's also set up in space, and it's also got basically like a very limited cast, so there's not a lot of characters. So Gravity is basically like 2 or 3 actors. Passengers is the same, but with Passengers, the storyline was brilliant. So that's so many people would say Passengers is better, but it's because of that storyline aspect. Whereas I think the CG in Gravity could have been better than Passengers, but the story, but the CG in Gravity was very good. It was very,
And I don't think they've really done a movie like this before.
No, that was one of a kind. And the way they did it.
But think about it. I mean, in Gravity, the whole just quietness.
And the sound in Gravity, actually the lack of sound in Gravity.
And that's where that's to be.
Yeah. And I must be honest, when I watched it, I kept waiting for an alien to pop up somewhere.
Right, or an explosion or something.
They didn't do that. They actually kept it very realistic, and I think they did it very...
I'm sure it was like a German or Russian director.
Really?
I think so. I remember, or Polish or something. Some guy with a funny accent.
Anything that's not South African or American, because every other movie is American, so we're used to the American
British, but even South African for me when I watch me, I'm like, that guy's South African.
Do you know, we watched, I can't remember what movie it was, a South African movie with Orlando Bloom in it, and he was doing a South African, it was he would pick it up somewhere and drop it, but the British accent, more of a British accent.
You guys like us, don't you? You like my accent, right? You can hire me, really. I'm not available on Sundays.
And Tuesdays,
Yes, me too.
So our next film is Inception. Now, Shame, I'll admit something, and I'm not proud to admit it. I have not watched Inception either, and I will go watch it before the end of this year. That is my New Year's, not New Year's, but my mid-year resolution.
What about your month resolution?
Because I'm scared this month passes. That's already the what? It's the 26th of July already.
Next week, it's 26th.
Well, today it's the...
now.
Right now it's the 26th of July.
If you guys thought this was live.
It's just kind of not.
Just rip this out.
Right. Yeah, so I will watch Inception. Ryan, will you watch it? Have you watched it?
I saw quite a big chunk of it.
Oh, is it?
I turned the TV on and I saw this graphics and stuff happening, and I was like, wow. With what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio, which is a brilliant actor. I must say he's one of my favorite actors because the roles that he pulls off and stuff like that. So when I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, cool, let's watch this. The next minute, I see some whack stuff happening. So I was this was also a very CG intense movie. This is where you know it's CG.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix in a way. I think.
This is where you just know CG. Awesome. This is CG. This doesn't happen. This movie reminds me a lot of, so when we watch, what was that movie with the, What is that? Oh, Doctor Strange. Yes,
Oh.
This is like a Doctor Strange type.
Yes.
You know, just weird warping things and stuff breaking, and it's brilliant, like the patterns and stuff that they use. But just
and even it's not hallucination.
There's a lot of slow motion stuff going on, and
what's that thing called?
Like
you still showed me. No, you know when the stairs are like, what's that thing called? Ah, damn it! You know when they do that triangle thing where it's actually not. The triangle's not a triangle because if you come around this way, what's that thing called? Do you understand?
Hallucination.
Is it hallucination? Not hallucination. No. It's not. It's not false perspective. Why do I have false perspective in my head?
Smoke and mirrors, you know.
Yes.
Type of thing.
What's that word?
It's gonna pop.
I'm going to search for it. It's that type of thing.
Yeah, where it looks, but it's not.
Yes. It's those black and white lines that move.
Yes. Where it seems, but it's not. It seems, but it's not.
Yeah, okay, guys, we'll get the word. Yeah. And someone's probably listening to us like, it's that.
But you're talking about the storyline. So
like, that.
Like, where you're watching, and the next minute it's not, and you're like, what?
Yes.
You think that they're really in a building floating around like that. Like, you see...
And then the camera angle changes.
Now, you see there, for example, they're in a dream, but they're floating around inside the hotel room. Now, if you look specifically, which I'm showing footage right now, if you go into our YouTube channel, where you can actually see around their waist, there's a rotation point. So this was one movie where I knew, you know, they've been held by their, you know, they got like, I don't know, you know, like gymnasts or whatever, those people that do flip flex type of stuff, where they're held by wire and stuff. You can see they're rotating around their waist upwards, like the excess, type of thing. But there's the slow motion car accident part, where they're in slow mo and the cars are going off, and
And for me, one of my favorite things that I saw, they literally flip a city over.
That's it. Where it rolls up like that.
And literally the cars are still like, I was like, that was like, that's hectic, man.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of that,
so like, how do you even do, like, where do you even start, like, is that just an imagery of a photo, like footage taken from an helicopter down, and then they just sort of placed it on like a 3D mesh and then like bent it type, or is that like, was that all just CG?
I wonder how the CG artist responded when someone asked him to do that.
I think it's always a challenge.
It's like,
I think
what?
I think they get surprised when they don't get asked to do something unusual. Something
like, oh, you just want me to make an explosion?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Just like a normal.
Would you like me to?
Can I have flares coming out?
Can I make it a green explosion?
Can I have lasers coming out? Lasers, and they shoot the one guy's hat off.
No.
And the hat's not real.
No. So you just want an explosion? Yes.
What if an alien?
No.
Because you know when that. No. But it's not gonna make sense. Yeah.
I feel sorry for. I must be honest. Whoever that person is in the world that got told, I want a city to flip over. Shame. I respect you.
I wonder how many times I actually did that and I was like, no. But I know that they get like concept artists and like ideas and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because we always work with references, so.
No, but shame. Yeah. But that is cool. What they did there. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I think with Inception, it's you know it's CG, but it looks cool because it's like different. You're like, something. What's happening?
Yeah. And oh no, I'm thinking about another movie, but there's that one that we saw, the one sequence where it's along the beach and there's a destroyed city.
Yes, and it's like.
And something that big it's a lot bigger, because the thing is, even when you model and you design in 3D, you've got to build it to scale. You can't just make the small little thing and then scale it up. You've got to literally make it to scale so that the animation, I mean, it's beach water, all that stuff. That's crazy. There's a lot.
And I mean, the buildings falling down, and I
want to see what year they came out, because you know the thing is today, like a lot of stuff. How do you spell Inception? Like today, when you come and you say, I want a talking tiger. No, not a talking tiger. Even that's like too common. If they say, no, I want the sun to literally start sucking up everything, and you see like all the items flying off, and everyone's like flying off the earth because the earth has gotten too. That's like, wow, that's crazy. That sounds cool. But if at a certain time, okay, so it was done in 2010. So. I mean, even around that, I think that time, I would say just after The Matrix, which is 99, I think 98, 99, I think that's when stuff really started taking off. But around 99, I think like crazy. It's like you had 2012. You know, have you seen the movie 2012?
Yeah.
Like movies like that, like these large scale fractures and stuff like that. So I think even around that time, I think that's like the era where it was still sort of uncommon to get these big things. Then it was still like, I want a talking rat.
I want a talking rat.
No, Dr. Dolittle or something like that. But nowadays, everything that's always crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Right. Yes, and our next movie is Jurassic Park.
Oh, come on, guys.
Yes, you thought I was going to say Jurassic World.
93,
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Now,
I think this was also one of those revolutionary movies.
I think a lot of people,
Yeah, like The Matrix was one of those. I think Jurassic Park is one of those.
Jurassic Park was now like, what? Dinosaurs?
Because they did, I know they used puppets at some, like not puppets, but like big puppets.
Stop motion.
Yeah, but then I know they also, that they switched between that and CG.
I didn't know they did CG until we saw this video. I thought it was all stop because it's like 93, but then again Star Wars was like 1970 something.
Yeah.
So that was quite... I used to listen to a band, and the guitarist did the modelling for Jurassic Park and stuff, like especially that stop motion stuff.
Really?
So a lot of their music videos was like stop motion stuff. So it's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, but the puppets, and then of course, didn't we do a thing on the one time in Jurassic Park in the kitchen scene where you see someone's hand or something like that by the one door? Do you remember?
Yes,
that?
You see the cameraman.
Yes.
Don't you see the cameraman? Or you see were they keeping the door open?
Maybe, yes, that's it.
Weren't they keeping the door open? Yes.
That's when you know it's puppets.
Yes.
But then there's like some stuff where they're like huge, and like that one part I saw where the kids, and once again, you got a YouTube channel, you watch this video, this show. There's a one part where you see it's a lower angle, and sort of in the foreground is the the boy. I think it's a big older man and a son or something, and then you see the T-Rex there on top. Like you just look at this shot, like it's just there. You'd like, okay, you can't do that to the puppet, unless you got a huge puppet.
Or you shrink people,
right?
And the cameraman. Okay, guys, ready?
Yeah. Are you ready?
What?
Yeah, we should make a movie like that.
Right. They did. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Remember that?
They took my idea. Damn it.
Right, and our last film is Star Wars Rogue One.
Okay, now, once again.
I watched this one, guys. You're proud of me, right?
Rogue One. I haven't seen Rogue One, though. Call me a Star Wars fan. Shame.
Yeah, shame.
I haven't seen Rogue
One. No, but I must be honest, when I was watching it, I didn't think of the CG. And when I saw Rogue One, I was like...
CG...
Okay, but then I thought about it and was like, wait a minute, I didn't notice the CG, or not that I didn't notice, but nothing looked out of place, which means that the CG was flipping brilliant. Because I mean, if you look at the like, I was just looking at some of the scenes on the beach and even in space, and you're like, that's so CG.
And from what I do understand is that they filmed a whole lot of different locations on Rogue One. Like they went, usually it's just in spaceship and that's it.
No, they did.
They went different locations. I was reading an article on Rogue One, the CG.
So the CG I think is very good from that perspective that I wasn't really aware of the CG, but
even though it was a very futuristic movie,
and even though the whole thing, I think there's CG in most scenes, and yet you're not really focusing on the sea, or you're not like, oh yeah, that was a bad shot, shame. Did you see that explosion? So I think if you can make a film like that where your the people who are watching it are like,
they're just enjoying the story,
and especially because I know as you get more into movies and making movies and production, you notice things. So you start noticing funny CG or this, that green screen type
all
of
the
thing.
Star Wars ones I don't think about the CG. I just look, I'm enjoying the visuals.
And I think also your storyline adds to it, because sometimes I think you can,
if it's really stupid then.
Okay, sometimes if you...
Do you remember that one movie we watched with those 4 demons or those 6 demons in a cage? I can't remember. Do you remember what it was called? Now the CG was brilliant.
No, but there
the storyline was
There was a box in that movie. That the CG was brilliant, and then there was this little box that was so stupid.
Do you remember even the one part where they break loose and then they start fighting or something? I remember. Then there's particles and that was so good, but because the storyline was so stupid, it was just like, forget this movie.
God, like, I'm going to bed.
It was so bad it sold the CG out.
Yeah.
Like, it just dumped the CG as well. And so ILM did Star Wars, ILM did Jurassic Park as well, and they also did Rogue One. So ILM Industry, Light and Magic, these guys are Lucasfilms, all those guys. So
big ups to you guys.
In fact, they're even Life apart, like I said.
Right.
Yeah, they've been doing CG. Like even Star Wars, they would have in their parking lots. They would build these big models like the ships, and then they would just pan the camera down, up and down them.
That's so cool.
And then, like, I think most of the CG was only like the lightsabers and stuff like that. But yeah, so they've been in the industry for like since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, that brings us to the end of another show.
CG. We should just CG. I'm gonna do some effect CG this scene out.
CG this scene. Yeah. Ryan's head's gonna come off his face. He's gonna turn into shame. Yeah. So we guys hope you enjoyed. I don't know what I just said. Did you hear? We guys hope.
Yeah.
We hope you guys, there we go, enjoyed the show.
We guys hope. But either
way, guys hope.
Because we guys hope you guys enjoyed it. Or we hope that you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah. Don't forget to listen to our next show. It's going to be awesome. Don't forget to go check out our YouTube channel. Don't forget to go check out our website and our app. And we are just everywhere. Like, we're taking over. This is awesome.
We're blogging blogs. And please don't forget to like. Just click. So you'll see at the
subscribe.
Bottom. You'll see at the bottom of wherever you're watching, you're listening, somewhere around there, whether you're on the Active FM website, so activefm.co.za, whether you're on our Instagram or
whether you're on
our
Facebook,
or you got
on
your
iTunes.
Or now on YouTube. Like, just click the like button. I don't know if you guys know this, but just because you subscribe doesn't mean you get notifications. There's a bell in the corner that you click,
right?
And then whenever you get notifications, I know with Active TV, like, whenever it goes live or something, then I get this notification. Active TV's now live. So exactly the same with this. Then whenever we post up stuff, you'll know when we've posted stuff.
Yes.
And watch it, because the more viewers,
the better.
Yes, obviously. Yes.
And we know you guys love us.
Of course.
Right.
Right.
Who wouldn't love us? Don't answer that. Okay. See you next time on the
movie show.
Yeah.
Bon voyage.